This podcast brought to you by OuchThatHurts.com. Visit Ouch That Hurts for music, gaming, reviews, editorials, podcasts, and more. Ouch That Hurts, HERTZ.com.
This is the 8 Point Podcast. I am your host, Dan. I'm joined here by Chris. Chris, how's it going?
I'm great.
Awesome. Before we get into everything that we're going to talk about, first off, we just want to thank everybody for joining us and listening to us today, from downloading us from wherever you're downloading us from. But we do want to thank our partners, and that's OuchThatHurts.com. So HERTZ.com. Check them out for reviews and a whole bunch of other fun stuff. And then hopefully you're downloading us from the BS Podcast Network. If you haven't, then still check it out, bspodcastnetwork.com. If you like video game podcasts, you like car podcasts, whatever you're thinking about, you can go there and check them out. So bspodcastnetwork.com. But Chris, so we're changing it up a little bit today.
We are. We're taking a break from video games.
We have a really special guest, and I haven't told him this yet, but I am a huge Irish fan, Notre Dame Irish fan, Fighting Irish, and so it's just a pleasure to actually have him. So without going even more deeper into this, wide receiver of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, number 0, Braden Lenzy. How's it going, man?
I'm good. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for joining us. So I want to bring one question up about that. I don't know if you can talk about it or not, but so previously you were number 25.
Mm-hmm.
What's the switch to number 0?
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty simple. I had early success in my sophomore year at Notre Dame, and I was really happy with where I was at, but I kind of wanted to take that next step. Just since I came in, I was kind of a speed guy in my mind. That wasn't what I wanted to be, going forth in college. I didn't just want to be like the end sweep guy. Okay. And I thought 25 kind of represented like a hybrid runner type of receiver. And when I saw the opportunity that number 0 is now to be used in college football, I thought there'd be no better number considering I'm from Oregon and like I already wanted to make a number switch to better represent, becoming a true wide receiver at Notre Dame.
Yeah, it was just like I said, I'm a huge Notre Dame fan. I go to South Bend every year, except for last year, just because of the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But no, so I go and we always check out at least one game a year, and we get down there. So just like I said, I'm just in awe that we actually have we have an Irish football player on our podcast, Chris. I mean, I'm really excited about this. And then on top of that,
you're hardcore fanboying right now.
I am. I really am. And hopefully that. Yeah. And anybody that's around me knows that I always say the greatest team in the world, the greatest team in the universe is actually to me is Notre Dame. So I don't all the other pros and all that. No, I love Notre Dame. So but without me gushing over too much over that gushy shit. Braden, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? You mentioned that you're from Oregon. What was how was it, growing up type sort of thing? What got you into? We're going to be talking about anime this episode. So what really, drove you to start liking anime,
Yeah, so a brief background on me. So growing up, I was born in Ohio, and then I moved to Florida for 2 years, and I was, 2 or 3 years old, and that's when my brother was born. And then shortly after that, we moved to Oregon when I was around 5. And I lived there my entire life prior to going to college in Notre Dame. Outside of 3rd and 4th grade, I actually moved to Taiwan from my dad's job at Nike, and that's when I was first introduced to like the anime culture and whatnot. And I've kind of just been infatuated with it since. But as far as going to Notre Dame, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do necessarily with my life. Being a kid in Oregon, there's not too many athletic opportunities. There's not as much recruiting. So when I got the opportunities that I did, which is not as common as other states such as like Florida, Georgia, etc. I just kind of looked at myself like, what would be the best opportunity to take advantage of this amazing position that I'm in. And it kind of came down to a couple of schools, but I felt that Notre Dame would take care of me both, whether it be the NFL route or whether it be post college, going into business, marketing, whatever it may end up being. And I thought Notre Dame was the best of both worlds, and I kind of fell in love with the campus, and it just was a no brainer when it came to signing day. And I've loved every minute of it since. And there's been ups and downs, but I couldn't imagine going to any other school, and I'm really excited for this coming season.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Obviously, I don't want to get too much into sports with this, but like I said, I do follow a bit. So, obviously, Ian is gone. He's entering the draft, and hopefully, he does very well in the draft. As far as that, if you can talk about it, are you working with the guy from Wisconsin, or are you? I mean, how's that going? I don't know how much you can actually talk about it. Obviously, we don't want to push too much with it and all of that. But obviously, new quarterback, new scheme, new thought processes, all of that.
Yeah, no, it's been great. Jack's been great coming in. We're really happy that he could be here with us. Anytime you get a fifth year, especially at a position like quarterback, you're getting a lot of knowledge in the offensive room, and he's done a phenomenal job. And in that same respect, Drew has done a tremendous job stepping up, and they're going half and half right now. They're letting them duke it out. They're both phenomenal talents, great guys, and they're both taking steps each day. And I'm really excited to see what happens for us come the first game of the season.
Hey, I'll be watching. I mean that I'll be watching. Well, seriously, good luck to it, and once again, hope you have another killer season. Just one more last football thing. I still think that my favorite play that you've done that I've actually watched, and I was jumping up and down just because I can't stand USC, is when you had that 51-yard touchdown run against them. So
yeah, that was my favorite play as well.
So yeah, no, it was awesome. I think I was looking up. I was what is that? I was sending a couple of a little bit of information about you to Chris before before getting ready for this podcast. And I think there's a YouTube video out there where somebody put Pikachu on you, and
yeah,
I don't know if you've seen it or not.
No, yeah, that was like our graphic design, like our social media team. They took advantage of the opportunity because they know I'm kind of a nerd, and I love Pokemon, so they saw the opportunity. And it's not like they can put a random anime character. They had to put someone recognizable, and Pikachu definitely fit that role.
Cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll start to get into our first topic. So talking about anime, like I said, we usually talk about video games, but we're going to flip it up onto more of an anime look on this.
Okay.
We're going to look at probably our top 5 favorite animes of all time, and then we'll get into the top 5 favorite characters, anime characters of all time. So Braden, you being our guest, I would say start it off. What would be your number 5? What is it? Your number 5 anime, and a couple of reasons why, and hopefully it doesn't kill it. Maybe I can actually get the theme song playing while you're talking. So
okay, I got you. So this was tough, and I've already had it listed out for a while. Just anytime I watch it, I just have it in my notes and I add. And for a while, positions 5 through 7, I've kind of had interchangeable. So my list is gonna be 7, I guess. But the first one, it's kind of low key. It's only 6 episodes. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but Fooly Cooly.
oh yeah,
I love that anime. Yeah, Fooly Cooly is wonderful. If you were really into anime, I highly suggest. I think it's great just because. Yes, sir.
Is that working or is that way too loud?
Loud.
Oh, sorry. Is that better or no?
No.
I can stop it. Okay. Sorry, I tried to do it.
No, you're good.
All right.
You're good. No, I had to have that in the conversation. I've watched it about 3 or 4 times through. I still am not even sure what it's about, but I just love it. Um, it's carefree, it's dope, and it's really unique. I haven't really seen another anime like it, so I thought it was worthy of being in that conversation.
Okay.
And then
Now, did you know there's a second season?
see, I watched the second, and I believe I watched the third, if I'm not mistaken, and they were all right.
They were just okay. The first season of FLCL was it was magic.
Magic, exactly. I just think it set the standard so high, and they couldn't really capitalize on like that like unique weirdness they had in the first season. Like I think it was kind of hard to replicate, which is probably why they only made it 6 episodes in that first season because it's such a strange anime. Like it's kind of hard to do something like that, especially now.
Mm-hmm. Can I admit something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I've never seen an episode.
You see, I'm not surprised by that. Like it really is weird. Like that's the only way to phrase it. Like it is a really weird show that the only like actual plot line to is you can expect someone to get hit by a guitar. Like that's realistically the only like that's the only pillar of the show, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I got one. I got to put on my list.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And it goes through like that awkward, teenage years of like an adolescent boy who has a hard time showing himself and talking to people. It is such a unique anime that I agree with you 110%. Like you're not going to find a same experience with that in other anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Chris. So what? That was your number 5, or was that your number 7?
That was my 7.
That was your 7. How about we'll go 6 and then 5, and then we'll move on to Chris. So what's your 6?
So 6, I have Vinland Saga, and I was very late to the party on this one.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if you guys seen it. It's on Prime. I think it's one of the best character development animes I've seen in a while, based in Viking times, that type of stuff. Incredible animation, no fillers, straight to the point, great fight scenes, and just overall great characters.
Isn't this the one that's if I remember correctly, it's kind of historical to Japanese culture?
No, it is Welsh.
It's Welsh. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Viking. I've only read it. I've never watched it. I didn't even know there was an anime adaptation for it. I know what I'm doing tonight after we're done here. Because
it is phenomenal.
Berserk level of quality, and it's gory. It is an action packed, just bloodbath.
Yep.
Oh, really? That sounds like Berserk.
Just kind of, no mythical stuff.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
You can go in and expect just great character development, and honestly, like Thorfinn is one of my favorite characters. He's not in the top 5, but he's a really good character, and the overall plot, just the way they lay it out, is very, very good. Like you will not be bored in any episode, whether it be backstory, fighting, whatever it may be. All very good episodes. An easy watch, an easy weekend watch.
Okay, I'll put that one on my list too. So I got Fooly Cooly and Vinland Saga.
Yep.
Okay. Number 5.
Now this one, very close to my heart, is one of the first animes I watched. I love it. We're gonna go with Gurren Lagann at 5. And I absolutely love this anime.
Don't believe in yourself, believe in me who believes in you.
Yes, sir. Man, so when I first watched it, the first episode, I was like, I don't know if this is for me, because I watched it probably about a year ago. And it just felt, the first episode, a little childlike. Like I felt like I was a bit too old for it, but I stuck with it like any true anime fan for a couple episodes. Normally I finish everything I start, and I'm very happy I did, because I got very into Kamina, one of my favorite characters. You'll hear him later. And more than anything, though, I think once you hit the time skip, you just got to see like everything that I was hoping from the anime really settled in, and you just got to see all these characters really grow and mature, and see all these different like viewpoints on life that I think makes the show amazing.
Okay. Very nice. Sorry, I'm changing the screen over here.
No, you're good. You're good.
Chris, what's your number 5?
And so I spent probably 2 days, like on and off at work and at home, just going through everything. And it's not a badass, it's not a manly anime. But I'm a sucker for tearjerkers, and Clannad. I'm gonna have to. I'm saying that for number 5. It's the awkward teenagers, trying to, not trying to find love, but love happens to find you, and then you got a horrible tragedy that kills your wife. Like,
that doesn't sound great.
It's a great show.
Sorry, I mean, look. All right, this is the second anime that made me tear up. All right, so this is the second one, and I just look, if you're in for a really good story, interesting, with a ton of growth in character and development, but you're gonna have that slice of life with the tragedy, Clannad is gonna be for you.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I actually, if you're talking about a tearjerker, actually my number 6, and I went back and forth on this one. My number 6 is actually Elfen Lied.
I haven't seen that one.
It didn't make my list. It's a good one though. It is a good one.
It's it's a very interesting story about and God, I don't even know how to describe it without it going into an hour description. Chris, would you call it like bio, like this girl Lucy is like this like super like
thriller horror is what I would
yeah
call that.
yeah it's so hard to explain, but it's just so good. So check it out, but it hits your heartstrings because it deals with like the growing up and finding yourself, and like I said, it's a girl and she's starting to like trying to find out what the world is because she's kind of been in this laboratory the whole time, and she's like this killing machine. And so like she can't necessarily control her anger after a while, so it's like, so she's trying to like, and she kind of escapes, so she's kind of like trying to like find herself. It's really good. But in my number 5 that I went back and forth with, and the only reason that I put this one above it, and I'm only talking about the movie. I did not like the series at all. Is the original Ghost in the Shell.
I haven't seen that one either.
So Ghost in the Shell is you have like now at times where it's like you like there's this like virus that's out there, or this ghost that's out there, and it's like invading people because this is like where people are like are bios, like cyberpunky type sort of thing. So people are jacking in and all of that, and this ghost goes around and is having people do certain things, and you find out that it's like something with the government, and or it really doesn't have to do with the government, and like there's this one part where it's like this truck driver, and what he's doing is he's doing certain things at certain locations, and what this guy has done is this thing has gone into his head and saying, I'm going to do this because it's for my wife and my child. And so he keeps looking at a picture and he's like, I'm just, it's going to be a better life for us. And when the police actually catch up to him and they bring him into interrogation, they actually show what he's looking at a picture of, and it's just a picture of him. Like there's no kid, there's no wife, there's no nothing. Like it's a good one. It's a really good one. Yeah. So Ghost in the Shell. Yeah. So what's your number 4?
This one might anger you guys because it's new, but I've also read the manga, so I know where it's heading. and I feel bad putting it in, but I have to. Jujutsu Kaisen is just that good. I love it.
Yes.
Like I have very high hopes for it. A lot of people are worried that it won't live up to the expectations of season one. After reading the manga, I can guarantee you that season one was just the intro. Season two will surpass everything you believe. I love everything about the show. It's dark, yet they have incredible jokes. They give this kind of lightness to it sometimes. And more than anything, I think every character is amazing. Like there isn't a single character in the show that I don't like. And it's very unique. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay.
So I look, I read it. I know exactly what you're talking about. Season one was good, but the next season's gonna be great.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. It's gonna be a good one.
Chris, go.
So it's been around forever. There's over 20 seasons. One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get your pirate adventure in.
I was waiting for either one of you two to say One Piece.
So One Piece, it's not number one. Number one, Dan, you could probably guess, but One Piece, I literally just got a buddy who said, "Hey, I know, I was like 19. I didn't have a job at the time, and I just had a laptop." He's like, "Hey, look, I know while you're looking for work, you have some time off, and here's an anime. It has like 600 episodes." I'm like, Jesus, 600 episodes. I thought that was a lot at the time, and I just started watching it, and this was the first anime that actually made me cry because of them killing the main character's brother. I mean,
we got to get you off of like watching this anime because it's either it's gory or you're crying, man. I mean that.
Hey, whatever it takes.
One Piece is an adventure anime. It is literally, all right, I'm going to become the pirate king, or I'm going to become the pirate king, and I'm going to rule the pirates. And then it's like 7 seasons later, you're rescuing your brother from his execution, and you rescue him. You guys are on your way to leaving. His crew's there. Everybody's winning, and then your body gives out, and your brother becomes a human shield and sacrifices himself right in front of you. Like that tore me up. I was ugly crying. I had snot coming out like Planad. That gave me a little teary
ugly
eye.
crying.
But I was full blown ugly crying, like somebody just stomped on my heart.
That's
And
hilarious.
And again, this 20 seasons. This anime has 20 seasons. All right, there's hundreds of episodes. One of my favorite anime characters of all times in it. If you have the time to make the commitment, it is worth the watch. You can see a clear difference in animation quality because it's from the mid 90s. But it is worth to watch if you have the time. If you can watch like 1 or 2 episodes here and there, you're going to forget about what happened and you're going to lose track. I mean, that's how every episode runs into each other. Filler, there's an entire probably 100 episodes you can cut out that's filler.
Okay.
But I haven't been able to get on One Piece. Actually, I haven't watched it, but I actually enjoy manga more than I do anime. So I've read all the manga. Like I read it weekly, but I have actually not seen the anime adaptation.
Pretty good.
Okay. So my next one. Hold on. Sorry, my next one. You can't laugh at me for this one, but this is actually something that my wife and I share very closely with this one, and that's Inuyasha.
Yeah, legendary.
Yeah, I mean it's just an absolute wonderful. It's just an absolute wonderful story. I love. I just love everything about it. The love story and losing love, but then finding new love, and then and I still say the hottest anime character is I think is God, what the hell is her name? Why am I spacing on her name now? Sango. I don't know. I fell in love with Sango. I mean, it's like so. But yeah, no. So that would be my number 4. Would be Inuyasha.
It's a really good story. My question is, have you seen the new season of it?
No, I haven't.
The reboot. Oh
No,
my
I haven't.
God!
I haven't.
Don't
I'm
don't
so
don't
yeah.
to
I'm
yourself.
so scared. I'm so scared to watch reboots on anything. Just like
Yeah.
we've talked about this. I don't think there's any good video game movie at all. Like to me, there's
Mortal Kombat.
uh, the original until they keep fucking it up. Like
Yeah.
Annihilation was shit. So I mean, okay, so we can give that, but I mean, besides that, like I, I mean, Chris, you know me, I have the Assassin's Creed logo tattooed on the back of my leg, and the movie was horrid.
The movie was a dumpster fire.
Yeah. So, okay,
No.
Braden, what's your number 3?
Yeah. You're a lucky guy. I wish my girlfriend would watch anime with me. The only one she likes is Food Wars. It's tough. But so number 3, back to back new gen anime. I have to go with Attack on Titan.
Okay.
I love it. I've also read the manga for this, so I know it's to come.
You got to play the game. You got to play the video games too.
And I actually have not played the video games, but I've watched like streams of people playing the video games. So I know it is about. I just haven't played myself because I really don't play video games that much anymore. I used to play a lot as a kid, but now it's more just anime, manga, and football.
Yep.
But yeah.
What that football doesn't take up most of your time? I mean, come on, you could throw some video games in there, right? No.
No, Attack on Titan is just fire, like through and through. Amazing plot twist, ties everything really well in together. Very badass characters: Aaron, Levi, Aaron. Yeah, great characters. Love them all. I think it's an incredible show. I don't really have many issues with the show at all. Very minimal negatives on the show.
Nice. No, yeah, I've played the games and I've watched a couple episodes, and I agree with you. I want to get back into the episodes, but no, it's I enjoyed what I've seen. And
Wait, you haven't seen it all?
No, I haven't watched it all. No.
How far did you get?
It's probably the 4th or 5th episode, honestly.
Oh, you see? Oh my gosh.
In his defense, I just finished it this year, and I'm like, wait, I'm looking at it. I'm like, wait, that can't be the end. Like, no. They gotta go to war with the mainland. It's like, come on.
No, there's more to come, but I would just say it's so good. Like if you make it past like season 1 is obviously great. Like, but if you make it past that, like the rate at which it gets better after season 1 is so high. Like I'm pretty sure like I don't really follow rankings too much of anime episodes because I think they're kind of skewed based on like like the weird Twitter fans who just like comment on like people who they ship and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like I'm pretty sure like the average like episode ranking was like 9.8 out of 10 from this last season. So, and it was like the number 1 most streamed show of like 2020. So it's ridiculous. Like it's so good.
That's awesome. Okay, well, I mean, I got to get back into it. I gotta actually sit down and do it. I'm just it's like you, man. I'm just so busy. It's not even, it's crazy. But that's not an excuse. I get it. What is it? Just to let you know a little bit more, just as I actually met my wife at an anime convention.
Wow, that's the dream.
Yeah, I mean, it literally is. So, like, we have a mutual friend. He's actually in our server here, and his wife now, girlfriend at the time, he was like my best friend and her best friend. So they were going out, and we had I was on radio for a couple of years, and he was one of my partners on radio.
Okay.
And basically what happened, and she's now sitting staring at me as I tell this story. basically what happened was we went to the convention and I met her and we ended up exchanging numbers. Or actually, I take that back. We didn't exchange numbers. I messed up her. What were you playing? I fucked up your game. She was playing something on Game Boy or whatever, and I fucked up her game.
Oh no.
Yeah, I know. So I thought I was already dead in the water. But what happened was we ended up going back to the studio the next week, and I said, hey, what about so and so, and they and my buddy was just like, well, she said that you can have her number if you would want it, and I'm like, okay. And then we chatted for like a month through like text messaging and a little bit of phone calling or whatever like that. And then I completely stopped talking to her.
Oh,
Like I just completely stopped talking to her because I was kind of seeing somebody else too,
gotcha.
which she knows about. But it was one of the best texts that I ever got back from her. So like that ended up not working, and I just texted her one day and I said, "Hey, what's up?" And she wrote back. She goes, "Give me one good reason why I should fucking text you again." And I went, and I told her the truth, and I said, "This is what was going on," and all of that. And that weekend, we ended up going out to a bar because it was my friend's birthday, hers and my friend's birthday. And then the next day or a couple of days after that, we went out on a date and been together ever since. So
Glad to hear it.
yeah, so don't worry, man. Don't worry. You can get her. You can get her in. You just gotta, just that's all you put on your TV is just anime all the time.
All the time.
So do you before I get into my next one, do you actually or Chris's next one, do you actually listen to like some of the theme songs or anything like that? Tell me you actually like rock out on like Spotify with a couple of those things.
Absolutely. So I have like a full playlist of intros, and then a lot of the time, like the people who make the songs, I'll click their profiles and then I'll download their own songs. So I have like a whole like 100 like song playlist of Japanese songs and a whole playlist of like my favorite intros all on Apple Music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. So I think so I got to check out Attack on Titan. Chris, what's your number 3?
All right. So I played card games. I played Magic. And what actually got me into playing cards was the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Not the weird like Yu-Gi-Oh GX or Yu-Gi-Oh whatever they're calling it, but like the original Yu-Gi-Oh series. Me and my cousin would sit there, and how we learned how to play was watching the anime. And it was every morning before we would go to work, we'd watch like an episode or two, and we'd be like, "Oh, I didn't know you can do that." And we would just be bickering back and forth on the rules and how we were interpreting them until we got an actual rule book and found out we had been doing everything.
Yeah.
It goes back to, I mean, even when I was in like middle school, I would wake up in the morning and Yu-Gi-Oh would be on, and I would watch the 4Kids horrible dub version. Being like 10 years old, you don't know what quality voice acting is. You just think this is cool. And, to this day, my girlfriend looks at me as a nerd because I have in a glass box an autographed copy of The Dark Magician with Yugi's voice actor on it, and it's an original. It is a first print. It is a grade 9. I mean, I got it graded and everything. Like that's my prized possession.
No, yeah, that is not nerdy. That is a treasure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, and then she'll come over and she was like, "Yeah, I just threw that card in your desk," and I'm like, "You did what?" She's like, "What do you mean?" She's like, I explained to her like, one of my first ex, she like took the card and she was holding it in her hand. She took it out of the sleeve and she was holding it, and I took it from her and dumped her on the spot because of this card. She's like, "Wait, how long are you guys going out?" Like I told her like 3 months, and she's like, "And you wouldn't have feelings?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I did, but I love that card more than her at the time."
Yeah.
But yeah,
I understand.
my number 3.
Okay. So I would be very surprised if you guys have heard of this one.
Okay.
And if you haven't, it's extremely hard to find, but it's my number 3, and it is called Doom Megalopolis.
I have not heard that.
it's a supernatural dark fantasy. That basically you have this one general or basically is dressed as in like a Japanese army uniform, and he's trying to invoke the power of basically an evil spirit to so he can run Tokyo. And it's only 4 episodes, but it's about 2.5, maybe 3 hours long. It came out in 1991, which I'm dating myself with that one. It's just so good. Like I'll send you a link to see if I can find it somewhere. But it's so dark, it's so good. It's just, and it's one of those ones that kind of keeps you on like the seat, like the front of your seat, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And when you think you kind of figure it out, it just throws you for a loop. So yeah, so Doom Megalopolis. So, Braden, you're number 2.
Number 2. So this one I had as my number 1 for a very long period of time. But then I switched it after rewatching my number 1, and I realized that I thought there's a switch that needed to be done. But I gotta go. I'm gonna take One Piece and Raise You, another big 3. I'm gonna go with Naruto at number 2. I've watched it through 2 times. One with every episode, and then the second time with just the canon manga episodes. I think Naruto is probably the most inspirational anime ever created. I don't like every character, but I think the way they designed the plot, and just even someone like Itachi, like I'm deeply saddened that I wasn't able to watch Naruto live, because I think the years of hating Itachi and then finding out that he was the good guy, all along, would have probably broken me. And I watched it, very fast. I binge watched it, and I was hurt. So I couldn't even understand the pain of what older people were able to see, like, the original people who were watching Naruto. I think it's incredible. And there's many characters like that. Obito, Pain. I mean, there's just an infinite number of villains who didn't even really feel like villains after you got to see like their entire story played out.
Okay.
So if you want to do an abridged version, Dan, on Xbox, download the Ninja Storm series, and those games are the closest and the best.
Oh, I've watched Naruto.
I'm just saying, like, if you didn't go into like the Shippuden section where he's a teenager, those games are the most accurate anime video games that I have ever played. And you saying all those older people watching the anime when it come out just made me realize that I'm getting old. Because I was waiting week for week watching that, waiting for Itachi to. That destroyed me when I found out he was a good guy.
So you know what we got to play? We got to play this, and Braden, if you ever do get a system and you want to jump on with us, we'd love to game with you too, man. But the new Naruto game was a Boruto to I can't think of it. But the newest one that came out, you literally have ninja battles, and you create your own ninja. Like you can create your own powers.
Well, that's dope. I hate Boruto, but that's dope.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got so much fun. Like literally, it is just you get into a battle. It's 4-on-4 battle, and it's just people who have just customized your own ninja the way that you want it, and just going around and battling on this huge land, and you can run up, and it's a lot of fun.
What is this on?
This is on basically everything. This is on PC. This is on Xbox, Nintendo,
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Okay, I play Xbox.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I mean, the only game I really play like a lot, if I'm gonna play a game, is Apex, just because that's a lot of my friends still play.
Oh, really?
Gotcha.
Let's see. Video game right now. So, what is the
One of
newest
the big
one that's
three.
out?
Speaking on the big
one?
three while he's looking, what are your
Yeah.
honest thoughts on Bleach?
All right, so
I knew Chris was gonna.
So the anime, I hated the ending. The manga, I hated the ending. I mean, it felt super rushed. Even the manga felt super rushed.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was doing my research on it, reading it, finding out that they weren't selling as well, they weren't doing as well, the ratings were down, and now that everything's over, they're talking about doing an OVA of Bleach, which is going to be each season. It's going to be 8 episodes apiece, and they're going to do a complete remake, kind of like how they did with Hellsing.
Gotcha.
The original Hellsing anime was like 24 episodes, and the ending made absolutely no sense. Where the Hellsing, OVA, I mean, each one's like 40, 50 minutes, and there's 8 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So you got yourself a decent hour of anime there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely I'm really excited. I don't know if you guys saw like the 1,000-Year War or Blood War arc, I think is what it's called. Because I've read all the manga. Very excited for that because I think it will do it justice. It kind of wraps it up better than what it did end. I think if the anime ended after the Aizen fight, it would be put in a completely different regard in the anime community because I loved Aizen. I think he's one of the best villains in anime.
If they stopped it right then and there, it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been in that S tier category for me.
Yeah.
I definitely really enjoyed Bleach more than I anticipated because I think of all the big three, it has the best filler. And I'm sorry to say that because I know you're a One Piece fan, but I didn't feel any need to skip any episodes.
No, I'm with you there. I'm with you
Yeah.
there. I love the part where it's like the sword became a separate entity, and it was a filler arc where it's like the swords were pulled, their spirits were pulled from the weapons, and now you got to fight
Yes.
them. I freaking loved that. That was great.
Yeah. And they have great characters. Kenny, dope. Dope. Dope.
Man.
So
Yeah,
I just
number 6 for me, Bleach.
Okay.
Who's that? You said Bleach is at 6?
Yeah, that was Chris saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I Bleach at 8.
All right, not too far apart.
No. Braden, I just sent you a link to your email. It's Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker. That's the name of the game.
Bet.
Yep.
Bet.
Yep.
I gotta check that out.
Yeah, check it out. If you feel that you want to, you let me know and we'll do a couple of rounds, and I know Chris will grab it too. So
absolutely.
If you buy it, I buy
it. That's true. We do game share. Whose turn is it? Chris, is it your turn? Are you on number? Are we on number 2? Where are we?
Yeah,
at?
I did Naruto at number 2.
Yep.
Yeah, and now it's my turn. Which number 2? The Tenchi Muyo. So I don't know.
I could not get into Tenchi. I wanted to punch him in the face.
So yes, I mean, look. All right, Tenchi Muyo is number 1 because I had my first anime crush, which was Ryoku, the hot, sexy space pirate with a tail. I mean, it was an adult. It was a teenage, teenage themed anime, and I was 12 years old, and it showed cleavage, and I was glued to that thing like I was watching Big O for the first time. And I've rewatched that series probably 2 or 3 times in the past 2 to 3 years, at least once a year. I go and I'll go through my top 5 favorite animes, and I make my girlfriend sit there and watch them, and she knows when it's getting to that time because I start talking about it. And she kind of almost punched me in the throat because she says, I am not sitting through another 6 weeks of watching anime with you. I love you, but I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Chris, there's a whole bunch of dissection that we have to go through when it comes to what you just said there. we'll do that on a different episode.
Yeah.
We've tried to dissect Chris's mind once. It got scary. If you can kind of see kind of where the theme is going with my stuff, my number two, and it's just there's just so much going on in this anime that I absolutely fell in love with it. I actually watched the movie first, which I know is the ending, and then I ended up going back and watching the actual series, and this is completely dating me. But it's Neon Genesis Evangelion.
No, legendary anime. Legendary.
Yeah, it is just. I mean, what is it? The creator, the writer, you realize he wrote this while he was in a mental hospital when he wrote this.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he checked himself into a mental hospital, and that was his therapy. He actually ended up writing this anime. The fact that you have characters like you have, and I'll get into Asuka, but I mean, like Asuka is one of my favorite characters. You know how she just wants to be accepted, and she feels that she needs to be the best, but she's actually the worst out of all of them. You have Shinji, and not getting too crazy, but I think everybody goes through shit in their life where they kind of question, you know, why are they here? Do they really need to be here? You know, where do they see themselves? And you know, unfortunately sometimes, you know, people, you know, make certain decisions on suicide or drug use or anything like that. But then sometimes, you know, people hopefully people are able to pull themselves out of that and get to better places. But the fact that when you really look at Shinji's character, he's so depressed and he feels that he's so worthless that he's not even good enough for suicide. Like suicide, he doesn't even deserve suicide. That's why he doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Like there's just so much. And then you have, you know, just the Christian and the Jewish symbols that go into it, and how the enemies are called angels. And it's just, I just think how everything is put together with it. It's just so good. It should never be touched from the original. It should just be as it is. And it should be, I mean, like literally the first copies of this stuff should be in museums to me, just because to me, it's just so good.
Yeah. No, I'm glad that I doubled back, because when I first watched it, I was very, very bored. Like that was one of the few animes I had to hit pause, and I stopped watching it, and I came back a year later and I watched it all. Then I watched the movie, and I'm really happy that I did, because I just think I was just an inexperienced anime watcher. I mean, I watched it probably freshman year, and I had to double back towards the end of my sophomore year, and I strongly enjoyed it for all the reasons you just said. And like you also said, I don't think it should be redone. I think the way it was, that, you know, that nostalgic, that old school animation, I think does it justice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Braden, your number one of all time anime as of 2021.
As of 2021, my number one is Code Geass, for the simple fact that there's no better ending in anime, in my opinion.
What is it called?
Code Geass.
I've never heard it.
Code Geass, or if you're uncultured, Code Geass.
So it is, in my opinion.
Okay. So I just looked it up. Okay.
It is so good. Like if you like the MCs, like the dude from Tokyo Ghoul, or like Light from Death Note, or like Eren even from Attack on Titan. Like you like that feel of like,
I do.
You know, the protagonist that is doing things for good, but it's more like the means or the ends justify the means, like that type of protagonist. Code Geass is the anime for you. Like there's not a single hole in any of it. It perfectly ties in everything with the anime. I think it's wonderful. Like I think it'll be very, very, very difficult for an anime to surpass it. I think of the ones that I'm currently watching, the only one that might be able to touch it would be Jujutsu Kaisen, simply because on just advanced animation, and I really like the characters. I don't really see an anime that I'm currently watching or that's ongoing that I would be able to touch it. And it's from 2006. So I just think it's that good.
So I'm in the middle of my first run through Tokyo Ghoul.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Actually, I just started it about a week and a half ago, so I'm only on about, I think, the 6th episode.
Mm-hmm.
So should I finish that and then start watching this, or should I stop that and start watching this?
It's tough. You see, Tokyo Ghoul, they kind of folded. Like season
Mhm.
1 is a masterpiece. Even season 2 is phenomenal. But yeah, I think it's season 2. But after that, it's just not good. Like I don't really know how. It kind of gives that feel where like it sets such a high standard. Like I'm not even sure if the former seasons are bad. It's just not near the level of what the beginning of. So I mean, you should finish it as any true anime watcher should do.
Mhm.
But Code Geass, I would say, should be your next. Like if you take anything away from what I'm saying, you got to watch Code Geass.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna put that on my list. I can tell you right now, I was kind of like pulling it up on the wiki as you were talking, and just some of the artwork with it. I mean, just the way that the anime is, like the style of it already intrigues me. So like,
Very, very unique.
yes, I like the really long leg, the really skinny character design that I see with that. Like my favorite type of anime, like drawing type, is something out of like Samurai Champloo.
Oh, great soundtrack to that anime.
Oh yeah, absolutely wonderful soundtrack. That's actually like my number 8 or 9 of my favorite animes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of like my favorite, and then you go into like this where Kogias actually what it looks like. Yeah, that just draws me in just looking at the pictures of it, because it actually reminds me of I play a game called Disgaea. I don't know if you've ever played them or not. And it's the same exact drawings. It's the same exact like character design. And with these, like the problem with Disgaea games is you can play them for 1,000 hours and you probably still won't beat it, because they just keep going on and on and on and on. Yeah, so Disgaea. But no, I'll definitely check this out. Cool. I got a couple of them I got to check out that you named.
Yeah, it's that perfect like length where it's like 50 episodes where you can put like like a good week or two in if with like you can get a couple episodes in a day and it'll do justice. It'll be very good.
Nice. Chris, you're number 1.
All right. So I have a backup in case y'all call me cheating, but it's not the actual series. It's the abridged version, Dragon Ball Z abridged. If you haven't watched it, the first season kind of sucks because it's a low quality recording. It's all fan made, but they do the characters more justice on making Goku dumber. Like, hey Goku, what's your favorite food? Double baconator from Spaceys. They do tons of puns. What they did with Piccolo, which was absolutely genius, is when he absorbs Nail and he absorbs Kami, they're both still alive in his subconscious. So every time Piccolo would have like an alone scene where he was doing nothing and his eyes closed, they would have like an interior monologue of like, we should make our own clothes beam brand. What are we going to call it, Mr. Green? I mean, it is absolutely fantastic. They do Gohan justice. They keep Goku dead, and Goku's just the absolute dumb. How are you able to teleport, Goku? I crash landed on a planet, and they fed me. They're sick. Wait, what? I mean, he purposely mispronunciates every bad guy, like Vegeta or Freezer. I mean, definitely, it's on YouTube. You can watch it. Dragon Ball Z abridged. There's 60 episodes in total, and they stop at Cell. And it's an absolute charm to watch it. Again, the first, I want to say 15 episodes, you could definitely tell that it's low quality audio because it's all fan dub. Then you could tell when they actually started getting money coming in from it, where they get better recording, a recording studio and better artists and just a better script for the series.
So, Chris, I'm gonna let you guess my number one, and I'll be so surprised if you don't get it. What is my number one? Because you've been to my house how many times, and what do I have? I have a signed copy of the voice actor.
I wonder what it could be. It's not Cowboy Bebop.
It is Cowboy Bebop.
I figured.
Yeah, I just absolutely love Cowboy Bebop. To me, it's like, you know how, like, Braden, you were talking about how the one that you have, Kogias, is just how it's done. It's just done perfect. All of that. Like, to me, it's done so perfect to me. In this, I have a signed copy of Spike, the original voice actor Steve Blum. So I have that. I have a limited edition Japanese poster of the anime framed, that was like for a movie poster. It's hanging up. I'm actually staring at it right now. I absolutely love Cowboy Bebop. Like I said, I was on radio for a couple of years, so I've fallen in love with music also, and the fact that you have an anime that every episode is a different genre of music, and all that music that plays during that episode is of that genre.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, that just drew me in, and then the story, it's just like, it to me, it's just the perfect anime. It is an absolute perfect anime. I love Ed. I think
Yeah.
Ed, every time. I mean, you want to talk about where I get teared up is when Ed, leaves. It's funny because, through the whole show, you don't find out Ed's a girl until the end. And I have a little girl. I have a little 4-year-old, and she finds her dad, and she wants to go be with her dad. Call it hokey and whatever, or corny, but I don't know. It pulls on the heartstrings, and and it's just, I don't know. So Cowboy Bebop's my number one.
Yeah, I'm looking at my Spike poster in my room right now.
Oh, there you go.
See you, Space Cowboy. Got it right up there.
Yep. Nice. Check out the BS Podcast Network. So bspodcastnetwork.com and ouchthathurts.com for all of our episodes and other stuff that you'll find on there. The other thing too is if we're starting to branch into streaming. So if you are listening to this and you want to check us out, check out our Twitch channel. That's twitch.tv/thesavepointtv. So switch.tv/thesavepointtv. Check us out on Twitch. We're usually on Mondays. We're trying to be on Mondays and playing Monster Hunter. And I try to get on Thursday nights. And Chris, you get it on whenever the hell you can get on, right? Yeah, you stream in between and all of that. So so check us out on there. And then also the studio, waiting for our electric to go in, but we should be in our new studio within the next couple of weeks. Actually, I'm hoping by the end of April we'll be in our new studio, and you'll be checking out more videos from that and pictures from that. So once again, check us out on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/thesavepointtv. Find us on Instagram, SavePoint, and on Twitter, the SavePoint, all of that fun stuff. So if you're listening to us, you know how to find us. So we're going to get into the second part. Once again, we are here with Braden Lenzy. He's joining us. Braden is the one of the wide receivers for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, getting into the going into the 2020-2021 season, or 2022 season. That's what's coming up, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. Have they are they still under the kind of weird COVID restrictions? How, I wanted to ask about that too. How has that been a little bit?
Yeah, in a word, it sucks. It's definitely difficult, especially building team chemistry. Because if you get a little outbreak, then you have to be in groups of 10 for lifts spread out over, many hours to get your workouts in. And it's definitely frustrating when like you might have like a 6 or 7 a.m. lift compared to when you normally have a 10 a.m. lift because there'd be 2 groups rather than like 5 or 6. And I might not have class till 1. So I'm waking up at least 3 hours more than I really need to be. The masks obviously aren't ideal, but with us, the school is giving vaccinations. And if 85% of our team gets vaccinations, which we all are going to get it because now the school is, denying enrollment in the fall if you do not get vaccinated or show proof of vaccination. We should have a lot of the protocols, kind of be diminished. We wouldn't have to wear masks and social distancing would be limited. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'd say in the next month, we'd see a lot more similarities to what I was accustomed to my freshman and sophomore year.
Yeah, I'm just like I said, just as a fan, I'm waiting that I can, be back on the campus and be able to, to watch a game and all of that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because that has to be hard. You guys playing in places that really have really no fans. I mean, that's what you guys feed off of,
Yeah, for sure.
So, so we just got done with our top 5 animes of all time. Now we're going to get into the top 5 anime characters of all time because I will tell you this, even though that I have a couple of characters that will hit into my top 5, I do have 1 or 2 that are from episodes that are from series that I just didn't even mention yet. So so Braden, go ahead. Once again, go ahead. Who's your number 5?
So at number 5, this is tough because I didn't even list them I'd probably go number 5. I'm gonna go Kamina from Gurren Lagann. I mentioned Gurren Lagann earlier. That might have been one of my most painful deaths to watch. That really really sunk in because I just didn't anticipate it because it kind of gave like a dual MC vibe. Like I knew that oh crap, I'm spacing on his name, but I knew that the younger dude was the MC, but I just was really really into Kamina and seeing him die, and then later what's the villain that he kept fighting? What was his name? It's like with a V or something. Vandal or yeah, it's something that when he saw that he was no longer fighting Kamina and that he realized like he like killed him, that just sunk in again because that tore me up. I really like Kamina and his just overall vibe, and I thought his outfit and his character design was one of the best in anime all time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that's it.
Chris.
Kirby Sage.
Jiraiya. Kirby Sensei. Yep. Kirby Sage. Man, I'm sorry, but my boy, when he went, I had a feeling. So I didn't read the manga, I only watched the anime of Naruto. And when they were sending him away, just the way he was talking to Jiraiya, I was like, they're gonna kill my favorite character.
Number 5.
They're gonna kill Kirby Sage. I can't freaking believe it.
One called,
and I mean, you're looking at the Godfather
Yo-Yo
Naruto.
Hakusho.
I mean, there's a lot of character development behind it,
and it's Hiei.
But it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go a different direction. Okay,
easy top 5.
Really, who'd you think?
I thought you were gonna go with Yusuke.
Really? See, I like Yusuke, but for something, I don't know. It's just like, so like what really got me with Yu Yu Hakusho was the second season when they went through the tournament.
Yeah.
And
oh man,
and I don't know. There's just something about Hiei when it just how he like the character during the tournament just made me like him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Botan came into a close second just because I think she's really funny, but no, I'm going Hiei. So, okay, Braden, number 4.
Bringing it back to Naruto. On the flip side, though, I'm going with a villain. My favorite character in Naruto, got to go with Pain. But Pain was so good on so many levels. I mean, between his abilities, his backstory, his connection to Jiraiya, and even just his actual fights, bringing the Akatsuki.
I said it. I lip
Yeah,
said it to myself. I'm like,
he's just phenomenal. I mean, I have no issues. His character design is
for me too.
Once again amazing. Yeah, I love everything about Pain. I think he was really good, and by the time he had passed, Nagato, I didn't even consider him a villain. I felt like I understood why he did what he did, and I think that's a credit to Naruto. I think they do a really good job of making you understand the villains.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of Naruto characters, you had a poll on your Twitter about the best character.
Yeah.
Okay. I read it to my wife, and she goes, "Why is Kakashi not on there?"
So, a lot of people might not like it, but I love Kakashi, but there are certain aspects that I just didn't always like. Like, I think he's a top tier character, but it definitely rubbed me the wrong way a lot of the time. Like, obviously, he needed Jiraiya. He was the best teacher, but I just found it extremely odd how focused he was on developing Sasuke over Naruto in a lot of ways. And I know they shared that innate ability, and only Sasuke would have been able to, done the Chidori. But there's just certain things I didn't like. But in that retrospect, there's a lot of things I thought he was hilarious. How he would read his romance novels. Obviously, a great shinobi, the Sixth Hokage. I mean, a legend in his own right. But he's probably not even in my top 5, and I don't think that's that he's a bad character. I just think there's so many good characters in Naruto that it's very difficult for him to be put over Itachi, Shikamaru, Obito, Pain. Some just a short list.
Hey, Bon. He says that Kakashi sucks and that Pain is better. She says he sucks. No. No, it's all good. All good. Okay. But so Pain is number 4 for you.
Yeah, Pain is number 4.
Okay. Chris.
All right. What a Yu Yu Hakusho, Kuwabara. Man, my man, you got to get the rival in there. I mean, let's just look at it. I don't know how if you watch the 3rd and 4th season, but the 3rd season, literally, Kuwabara sliced open a barrier that stops S and SS class demons from coming into Earth. So I mean,
I think that's one thing that I really, really love about
there.
anime.
But his character,
and I think this is just an overarching thing.
Love.
Is
the dude's just a big,
how many times have
muscle bound,
and yeah, you can compare it to English and whatever what we watch now, but I think anime does it so well. Is that there's times that there's going to be a villain, and that villain is either going to be a villain all the way through, or the fact that somehow they're able to twist in, and then before you know it, you're 2 seasons or 3 seasons in, and the first villain that you had now is like somebody you're cheering for because they're a good guy.
Yeah.
I mean, think of it like with Piccolo with Dragon Ball. Look at Kuwabara with Yo-Yo Hakusho. It's like, now you're cheering for him, like even sometimes more than the main character,
Yeah.
So, awesome. So my number 4 is from Ninja Scroll, and that's the main character Jubei. So I don't know if you've ever watched Ninja.
I'm not familiar.
So Ninja Scroll is it is
Really?
it's once again myself. It's from 1993. Yeah. It's just a good ninja movie. Like, I mean, I don't think it's groundbreaking on any side of it, but like, the Shogun, it's the Edo period, and you got shoguns and all of that, and it's just the story of this ninja Jubei that's going around on a journey. So it's really good. Ninja Scroll. So number 3.
At number 3 and 2, I struggle to rank, but I think I'm with 3. I'm gonna go Kaneda from Akira. The motorcycle, the movie's like aesthetics overall phenomenal. I think Kaneda is super cool. I love that he's the leader of the biker gang. He just kind of gives like a rough feeling. Like I really enjoyed him. I thought he was funny. Yeah.
If you could be an anime character, you would want to be him, basically.
No, I got someone in this list, a higher up, who I would want to be, but he would be up there. I think he is dope.
Okay. Nice. Chris.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. Which
okay. My number 3 is Masato Kasaragi.
Decent English voice actors.
Neon Genesis.
I mean, you got the Flame Alchemist. You snap
There's a lot of things. Once again, I'm not trying to get too deep or whatever. There's just a lot of things in
as hell.
Her, like the thought process of her life that you see, that kind of I can very much relate to in my own life, and so just pretty cool. So so Kasaragi for me. So Braden, number 2.
At number 2, I'm going to your favorite anime. I'm going with Spike's Beagle, Cowboy Bebop.
Okay.
Not much needs to be said. Between the relaxed SIGs, the random adventures of being a space cowboy, and this guy who gives off this nonchalant, non-caring vibe, but really just kind of hurting deep down, for his lost girl. Just an incredible character. I mean, I don't have any flaw with him. He's just really fun to watch, and he's an overall he just looks cool. Like, if that could be any anime character, I would probably choose him. I think he is very cool.
Very mellow. And I'll just, Chris, I don't mean to be skipping over you, but just so we don't repeat, for basically the exact same reasons, that's my number 2, ironically. Yep. Spike is my number 2. But yeah, no, if I could be somebody, I'd probably choose him. Just how relaxed that is. I say that my favorite part of Cowboy Bebop is it's from Ballad of Fallen Angels. He is, he's all bandaged up. He comes out of, he gets blown out of the church. He's all bandaged up, and he hears Julia singing, in his dream. And then he starts to slowly come into focus, and it's Faye that's singing. Okay.
Yeah.
And she looks over and she goes, "Oh, you're finally up." And he goes over and he's like struggling to pull the bandage down. And he pulls the bandage down and he goes, you sing off key. Like, to me, this is one of, if not one of the greatest parts between them of that anime. I just love it. Like, to me, that's just so like just chill and cool when it, that's what that character says.
Yeah,
So
no,
Chris,
I love that vibe between them, especially before he took off. He was like, "I'm finding out if I'm really alive." Like that might be one of my favorite anime quotes of all time.
Yep. I'm not going to die. I'm finding out if I was ever truly alive.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Chris, you're number 2.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Not the newest anime, but it's well known. Number 2, Saitama from One Punch Man. I mean, just having literally OP pretty much in your name is one thing, but the guy is, the whole story of it is he's just bored out of his mind because he's too damn strong. And the way
I've
they
been
ended
told
the
so many
anime
times. I cannot tell you how
season
many times I have been told to watch One Punch
was
Man.
Good.
It's good. It's funny.
opened
Great
up
animation.
where the manga's going. There's a lot of character development.
Okay, Braden, you're number
everybody
1
but
as of
Saitama.
2021. You're number 1
But
favorite anime character.
One Punch Man, Saitama.
I had to go with the
he's my
tie
boy.
because I like them for
Literally
the
just
exact
one
same
punch
reasons.
and it kills
I kind of mentioned earlier, this is my favorite type of character. So I'm going with Lelouch, Lamperouge from Code Geass, and Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan. I'm not going to spoil it because you haven't seen either one, but simply put, protagonists who choose ends over justifying the means, I think create the best plot and overall character development in any type of anime. They're both, I would describe as perfect characters. I would not want to be either one, but I can appreciate them watching from a bird's eye view. I think they're both phenomenal.
Okay. Chris, I jumped over you, so you go. You go. Your number 1.
I can definitely see that. Guts from Berserk. I mean, it's not a comfortable story for a lot of people. I mean, if you read the manga, we can't talk about what happens in the first couple chapters of the manga, but I will tell you, it is an amazing read. They're picking back up after a 2-year hiatus. They finally picked back up on the manga. I have the full collection of what's available out there. I have the books. I have the hard. It's one of the few mangas where I actually have a hard copy of it. And the tragedy that goes through from being a blade for hire to your friends and your loved one being slaughtered in front of you, to you now restoring your loved one's mental capacity and having a group of comrades who you feel safe around. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. The rage and the anger you feel in a character, and as the animated manga slowly go on, you slowly feel his rage.
Braden, have you watched Berserk?
Subsiding.
No, but I read the manga because I was told the manga is better than the anime. And I agree. We can't really speak on the early chapters, but it is. It's like if you don't,
we should think about
if you aren't really into manga or anime, like you're new, it's just not for you. It would definitely turn someone off if they're like new into the weeb life.
Let's get out of Dodge.
Okay. Yeah, Chris, I gotta borrow that. I've watched the animes, and I've watched the couple of them that they actually have.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to borrow that from you.
Yeah.
So I actually have a tie for my number one. Also. And the other one is from Cowboy Bebop. And then there's one that we haven't
Netflix
even
movies,
mentioned
which
that
were
I'm
like
surprised we
meh.
haven't
I mean, the
mentioned, is Ghost
animes
again.
again, meh. But the
But
manga,
my number one female,
I,
I have to say, one's female, one's
yeah.
male. My favorite female character is Faye Valentine.
Yeah. She's amazing. She's
I
amazing.
mean, yeah, I have I don't have a lot of like the Funko Pop things or whatever like that. And in fact, the ones that I do are actually, open, and all of that. I actually have Faye's. It's sitting in my office at my job. It is one of the first things that you see when you walk in. It's still in prime packaging,
I
to the
freaking
point that
knew it.
like I get, if somebody comes in my office, like I have a whole like shelf that just kind of has toys, some anime and video game stuff or whatever like that. Um, but like if somebody comes in and like you can touch anything you want on that shelf. I have a working claptrap robot from Borderlands that you can pick up and play with, and it's great. Don't touch my Faye Funko Pop. Like just don't touch it. like I'm that much about that one. And then I just absolutely love her character. I love it just draws me into her, and just I just absolutely love her character.
Yep.
And then my other one is because there's just so um I've been told when I was younger, or not younger, but when I was growing up, my father told me, um, a little bit of a phrase to live by, and that's don't ever let anybody beside your family know what you're thinking. You
Mhm.
know, and I think this character actually kind of epitomizes that thought, and that's Vash the Stampede from Trigun.
Mm. Yeah.
Because you really just don't know where he's coming from with things. I mean, he's this goofy, crazy guy that just leaves chaos everywhere he reigns. But then when it actually comes down to serious things, he's serious. Like the fact on the episode where he sings "Total Slaughter," and the reason that he's doing that is to get people out. Because he
Yeah.
knows that if the people stay in the area, they're going to get killed. It's like
Yeah.
it's just to me, it's just Trigun is just is a great anime. I wish it was in my top 5. It's just not.
Yeah.
But I love Vash the Stampede. I think he's one of the greatest characters.
Mhm.
So, but I think that's gonna about do it for us. I mean, Braden, my man, I'm telling you, I'm thank you so much for joining us. I'm so happy that you were able to jump on with us, and love if you want, love for you to jump on with us again if you're ever available. I know that football season is going to be kicking in, once summer starts to hit through or whatever like that, because you got to get ready for the fall. But you're always welcome to join us if you're ever free, and stay in the server and chat with us and all of that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. I always love talking to fellow weebs. There's not too many on the football team, so that's definitely appreciated. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, no. If I could, leave you with anything, watch Code Geass, and then also, especially for like the manga readers, if you haven't already, check out Blue Lock. It is the best sports manga I've ever read. It's pretty fucking amazing.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, so that was going to be one of my last questions. If you had to pick any one anime for me to watch, I'm guessing it would be Code Geass right now.
Watch Code Geass, read Blue Lock. Both are messed up and amazing. Love them.
Awesome. Did you would you want to plug your socials if you wanted to? It's completely up to you or not.
Yeah, sure. Instagram is at Braden Lenzy. Just spelling out my name, and then my Twitter is at BLSpeedy21. I talk a lot about anime and post a lot about anime, so if you like that stuff, I'm a good follow.
Absolutely. Well, we're following, so yeah, we'll definitely be chatting with you. Once again, thank you for joining us. We had such a great time. Best of luck with this upcoming season and all of that. Like I said, we'll be rooting for you. And if I make it out to if we actually make it out to South Bend, I'll hit you up or whatever like that and be like, yo, uh, you know, throw something over. Usually around the visitor side by like the 50 or 40-yard line. So just at least one time look over there and point or something.
Man, I got you.
Awesome. But no, thanks again, man. And we'll be talking with you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So that would be the end of the episode. And then, we'll get into our ending music. But Braden, like I'm telling you, my man, that thank you so much again. Thank you for joining us. I'm hoping that you had fun with it.
No, it was a lot of fun. I don't really get to talk too much about it, and I got some buddies who like talking about it, but like hardcore weebing, like once you've hit that like triple digit animes watch, it's kind of difficult to go over some stuff with people who've only watched a couple or haven't really watched any at all.
Mm-hmm. And obviously you can see that I've dated myself with some of my anime, but definitely want to check out